Hey all, it's Paul from Drums and Rums with the Backbeats Meets the Spirits. I don't even know how to express, today, this episode here. I've got a great guest. This guest is, again, part of what this community, this connections with all the guests that come on the podcast, whether it's drummers or rummers or something. And this guest was connected via a previous guest, Paul E. You may remember Paul if you listened to that episode where we had percussion manufacturers on earlier in the summer. Here we're taping this in 2022, September 2nd. Is it the 2nd?
Yeah, correct.
I remember, yeah. The days are going by so fast. But this guest, he has been providing the groove for Michael Franti and Spearhead for over 20 years. He is also has solo music as well. So looking forward to him this is going to be, again, I posted yesterday on social media. I know I'm dating the podcast a little bit, but everyone was all the drummers said, hey, what happened to the drum podcast portion? You've been talking more about rum all month of August. Well, of course, August is National Rum Month, but we're back on the drums, really excited. We're up here at Stadium Grill here in Abacoa. Great shout out to those guys. Come on down here. Come on down here tonight. Well, no, it wouldn't be. If you're listening to it, it won't be tonight. Yeah. But anyway, so let me just jump right into it. So, welcome to the podcast, Manas. You can you pronounce your last? You want me to try to pronounce your last name?
Try it.
All right, I'm gonna try.
If it was, I'll accept it.
All right, let's see if I get it right. So, Itene. Itene. Oh,
okay.
See, I screwed it. That's it. Podcast is over.
Manas Itene.
Yeah. So, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah,
Manas.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, so it was really fascinating. Like I said, we were talking, and I had Paul E. on back early in the summer. He was talking about his percussion, the hand drums that he makes, and some of the artists that play his equipment and his percussion. And I just was like, wow, this is really fascinating. Again, it's a whole world that I've been learning more about, having drummers on, percussionists that are, hand drums are huge, right? For those that are mostly familiar with just a drum kit style of drumming and so forth. So, you grew up in Nigeria.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So, how'd you go from Nigeria? You started drumming and started playing hand drums in Nigeria when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, I started playing if I remember, I was like 8 years old, I believe. 8 years old, So I saw people like kind of a drum circle style. Everybody always plays, always festivity. People always do drums. So I just like, man, this is so cool. This is what I want to do. Then I go home, I go bang on the table, like, man, I love this rhythm. So since then, it's been a journey, So I started playing, let's say, since I was 8 years old.
Okay.
I started with the hand drum a little bit. Then I saw the drum kit. I'm like, oh, wow, this is another, fantasy. This is cool. The kick drums,
There's more things to hit, right?
Yeah, cymbals and everything. I'm like, oh, let me, try out the drum kit.
Right.
So when I go home, I made my own drum and just keep practicing. So I'm kind of like self-taught.
Okay.
Yeah, from where I see,
That was from what I was reading right, and other interviews and things. I try to do my homework, right?
Yeah.
And, thank God for Google, and and that's what I was thinking, reading the story, how you started out at 8, start banging on things and keeping rhythms and so forth, is how it went from there. Again, I'm very. I'll say I'm very naive, right? When I say this is, I don't know a whole lot about Nigeria, or kind of like So, and I'm sure most may, but again, to go from there to where you're at now, right?
Yeah, go from there. The situation, because at the time it's unusual, that era growing up, like this young kid just playing drums, so it wasn't common. So, it wasn't common. So my neck kind of get around. Even in my college, I was the only drummer. Like, it wasn't common because everybody just studies and, play football wherever it is. And I played a little bit football myself. I was a goalie in my high school. I was a goalie. So I did that, but mainly was, always drums. So I would be playing, people would circle, like listen, like, wow, this is unusual. So I just took advantage of that, and then the name get around, and I went to church, started playing in churches, being a gospel musician at the time. So one thing just leads to another. Then, and I met this bass player, her name is Perry, and it's like, you can do better if you can go to like the big city. Things, you can just do it.
Right.
Like I started giving it a thought, like how am I gonna get to the big city, So anyway, it's just word of mouth. So
Right.
Perry, they're in a band I looked up to when I was a kid. So the band was like popular in my areas every time they play, and I live behind the venue. So every time a musician do sound check, they come, I just go sit there all day, checking them out, So Perry just spread the word around, like, you need to check this kid out, It's in Ugele, that's the name of my town. They're like, really? So I got together with a reggae band, the Mandators, will become popular. So the singer, like, if it's true about what you said, I want to see this kid. So, then I went to the big city and I saw him. I'm like, yeah, Then he's like, can you play this beat? Can you play that? I said, yeah. So, wow, you got a gig. Yeah, so, but we were huge then in Nigeria. So, and then my parent, saw in the article in the paper, like, it's Manas.
So wait a minute.
They're like, that's my son, front page, like, oh. Because they were looking for me. I didn't tell them I was leaving, because they would say no.
Oh, right.
They're like,
yeah.
wow, we haven't seen it for 3 days. We haven't seen a week. What happened to Mana? Is it dead? Is it, they were worried.
Wow.
So they saw the article like, oh my God, okay, it's in the city. That's how they find out. At the time, there's no cell phone or nothing. So when something happens, you don't know where to look for,
Yeah, and that's the great part, and I love it. Like I said, is talking to different people from different, everybody comes from different places, and then others get to learn more and understand. And yeah, you're right. I can only today that's not going to happen because there's so much cameras and things, and people keep track of everybody a little too much. But so that was about about 8, you said high school, college. So
No, it was
18?
high school, like,
Okay.
I was a teenager then, I was still in school. So, then I traveled with the reggae band for a while,
Okay.
it was fun. I was young, like, this is great life. And then I made my decision then, like, this is what I'm going to do. So I was the only drummer in my college, playing drums, and because people weren't interested. And at the time when I went to the college, I saw a group of teachers, lecturers that came to my classroom, and I didn't know what was happening. They were, I didn't get into any trouble. Why are they here, like, looking for me? So they excused my teacher. They're like, we're looking for Manas. Manas here in the class. I say, yeah. I raised my hand up, say, yeah, we want to have a word with your life. Everybody like, oh, maybe he's in trouble. As student, they gossip like, oh, this something, oh my God, he's going to pay for it. I was like, what did I do wrong? I just got to the school.
Right.
So they just told me, like, yeah, the reason why we care, we have the music program and there's no drummer, so we shut it down. And there's a rumor that you're a drummer, you're in this class, that's what we all came. So we want to start the music program back on. I'm like, are you interested in being in the band? I said, oh, fuck yeah. So I was like, shit. See my dream come true. So, like Jesus. Okay, that's it. Oh man, let's go right now. Let's go bang on some drums right now. So that's how it started. Okay. So they introduced me to the principal, and it's like, this is our new drummer. We're gonna have the music program back on. Yeah. So since then I started playing in school, and yes, everything is just a word of mouth. Like, check it out, yeah. And that's what led me to America too, because through the reggae band and some promoter came, like we need a band to tour.
So what time? What like time frame we talking? You're talking about?
I don't
want to give away your age, right?
Yeah.
Roughly.
I would say, like late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Okay.
this was happening like late 80s.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so and I again, like I said, man, I learned so much from my guests. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
why I secretly love doing this, because I love talking and
Yeah.
learn so much. And again, I'm so little knowledge about, really in depth reggae background. Of course, I know the big names and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
forth, and again, it's a different style.
Yeah,
style,
different.
right?
Yeah,
than
it's
a,
different.
than a rock beat and so forth. And it's a rhythm, more
Yeah,
rhythm
yeah.
than so forth. And you can dance to, right? Mm-hmm. So, which I can't wait. Again, we're taping this here tonight.
Yeah.
Manas is performing with Michael Franti and Spearhead, and I can't wait tonight. Again, it's going to be a good show
Yes.
here in Jupiter. So you got together with the band,
Yeah.
the Mandators,
Yeah, correct.
and then came to the U.S. to
Yeah,
tour.
we did a lot of tour in all of in Africa, Nigeria, across the country. Then someone discovered us, like a promoter from United States. Says like, oh, I would love to have you guys to come to America to do what you do. People will love it. Well, we're like, all right, So, so then I was in the city. Then I went home back to my little town. Then the city. I was just hanging out. They got my passport information wherever it is, but I didn't know it was gonna happen because we didn't hear nothing back from the promoter. There was never be a talk about it no more. Like, oh, we're gonna go to America or what? They're like, yeah, hopefully the guy shows up. So anyway, then our road manager traveled to my hometown to look for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we have a break. We talk. So I went home. Every time we talk, I just go home. Like, okay, we have like 3 months off or whatever it is. So then I went home. And then everybody was saying, yeah, this guy looking for you, kind of light skin, and you just missed him. Cause, we don't have cell phone then to like, hey, yo, where you at, So he just took chance to take like 5 hours journey to come to my town.
Wow.
Yeah, so you don't know if I'm there or not, but he just took it. Then he came. They're like, oh, he just went that way. I go chasing. I said, what's his name? They're like, oh, it's Sabam. I said, oh, that's our road manager. What's he doing? They say, well, he came to look for you. Then I sat down with him. I'm like, yes, Sabam, what's going on? I said, man, I just want to let you know, the American deal is happening. They issued the visa and everything. We good to go. So you need to pack up and we need to practice, rehearse, and we go do the shows. I'm like, really? So it's really happening? Yeah, that's why I came.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So that was first time coming to the U.S.
Yeah, that was in 93.
Yeah. Okay.
First time, 93.
Was it everything you thought the U.S. was? You were like, eh.
No. It's everything I thought, like, in my imagination.
All the movies and things.
Yeah, it's not really like it is, but, movie that make things like different. Like, oh, even when I went to Hollywood, like, oh, this is it, wow, But it was I did a lot of tour when I first came, like where they showed the movies and acting and all that stuff. I like, wow. Thought the room was bigger, I realized it was small,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't believe, they say, don't believe everything you see on TV,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you came to the U.S., performed, and how big of a band was the Mandators? Yeah.
At the time, when eventually we downsized, because the reason why we downsized, they could afford to take care of everyone then, because we're not like bigger name in America then, we just, by the time we have like horn player, 2 horn player, 2 keyboard player, 2 guitar player, it's a huge band, 2 guitar player.
Sounds like George Clinton.
Yeah, exactly. 3 backup female singers, and and I sing backup, and so the percussionist. That when we came to the state, we just downsized. So we had 1 keyboard player, 1 guitar player, a drummer, and just keep it simple. Because the promoter like, hey, I love what I see, but I can't afford everyone. Most of the rest of the band feel some kind of way about it, which I understand.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I didn't get to go. I have to stay behind now. So that's how we got here.
It's a good thing you're doing drums because
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is a drum podcast, so guitar's a dime a dozen. Okay, let's just
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So toured around the U.S. and then I guess then at some point how did you hook up with the current band that Michael and and
when I was in the state, I decided to stay, because I just think I have more potential. Because I love playing the reggae. But at the same time, I have feel for other music too. Like at the time, reggae was popular in Nigeria. That was so everybody do it.
Right.
Yeah, but we were one of the band that really break through in the reggae at the time in Nigeria. It's not really our major music, because all the reggae we had then is from Jamaica.
Right.
Jimmy Cliff, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, all the big names. Tooth on the Matter. So. But we were one of the band that break through my country then. Then when I came, I have interest in playing jazz, all that stuff, what I mean? So I'm going to try something different, I'm going to try something different. That's why I ended up staying here. Then I was sessioning, playing with different people.
Okay.
Because the world, was like, yeah, there's a new cat. He's from Africa. He's pretty good. Check him out, Okay. So I started playing different sessions with a lot of people, and when I met Spearhead, I think it's like a chemistry thing. It's not really about my playing. I remember I met Carl. We went to record a jazz record with this pianist, it's a piano player from Ethiopia.
Wow.
Yeah, his name is Elias Negash. So Carl was the bass player, I was the drummer, and the piano player, I forget who was playing my friend Ralph Woodson was playing guitar. So after the end of the session, Carl I'm in a band Spearhead, I think you might be the cat we're looking for, person like you. And so I, went audition, we just played like 3-4 songs, and I think I did nothing special, whatever, it's pretty, any drummer could have done that,
right.
Nothing like, wow, this is not. Then at some point I got a call from the management, like, oh, yeah, the band really likes you, blah, 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 blah. Can you be part of the band? I'm like, yeah, I would love that, So since then, it's been 23 years after that.
And
yeah.
You look back and you're like, how time has flown
flies,
by, right?
Yeah. Because we're so busy, we don't keep track.
Yeah.
That's schedule and post schedule, so
Right.
it's like, yeah.
And I think that's kind of an interesting. You mentioned there, Manas, was chemistry, right?
Yeah.
That's half, probably majority of just performing with other people and the longevity, right? Can you get along and can you have very much on the same page?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's it. So
just chemistry. It's not much about anybody can do the job. Where people tell me, oh, you must be really good. I said, there's no such thing. Anybody can do it. If any basic great drummer can,
right.
Keep it down.
Right.
But it's chemistry, just like
so
right fit.
So your current configuration, what's your drum kit configuration right now for touring?
Yeah, I have I think a 22 kick drum.
Okay.
22 by 18,
so
if I'm not mistaken.
We're gonna hear the bass.
Yeah, you're gonna see. I'll show it to you. Then I have my snare is 14 by 6. Then I have inch tom, the 12, then 14 floor.
Okay.
Then I have a little timbale. I think it's like 10 inch. Yeah. Then I just keep it basic. Years ago I used to have the rack, but I just have like 3. Then I have 3 cymbals. Basic. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people do say, right, is having a smaller kit makes you more creative.
Yeah.
Because you don't have. It's easy to hit this tom or this cymbal and that size cymbal.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more creative in your.
Or it's that way, but all depends of the kind of music you achieve. Like
Fair. Yeah.
a lot of people have drum big drum kit. God represent different. It's all about the texture. Like what is, you know, it's like being a drummer and a percussion is the same time. That's why a lot of people have big drums. So depends on what the music call for, but basic rhythm, you don't need all that, you know. So that's why a lot of drummers, they just downsize. Like, oh, you know, it's easy.
Right.
Just, yeah.
Do you have any electronics part of this kit?
Well, actually, I have I have an electronic kick drum on the side. So basically, two kick drum. I forgot that part. I have the main kick drum. I'll show it to you after. With the main kick drum, then electronic kick drum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of acoustic players will have probably like the Roland pad.
Yeah, I still have the pad. Yeah, I have the SPD pad on the side. Then
when I listen to the music, I said, all right, there's a lot of interesting how the mix probably is. It's acoustic drums or
I'll show it to you so you can see what I'm working with. Yeah,
I get to see it.
You get to see it.
What
I'm working with. Yeah,
cool. So touring and 23 years later, and I'm again. So not only so you're currently touring on the latest release of the
album,
right?
Yeah,
and so we're about what halfway through the tour so far in the U.S.
Yeah. It's like I think we have it in the 18th of this month, September 18th. Yeah, so that we're done for the year and. They will continue January in Europe, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Perfect. So supporting the new album, Follow Your Heart. So I mean, it's great stuff. You guys,
I love it.
Yeah, it's I think again you mentioned there you sing. So what you didn't mention, and we're gonna talk a little bit. I'm gonna ask you about it, but did you get into singing early too? I guess that when you were in the church, you mentioned, right?
No, the church I was singing. I've been in the choir, but I. Before we will sing the hymn, I was then after that I go play drums. Okay. So, but in the church when I play drums I don't sing, but when we do the hymn just a choir style, right? I will sing.
And a lot of people talk about performing in that I've been on that that are very well-rounded drummers is they've played in the church, or they may not have sung in the church, but at least they've performed in the church. Right? So we've come up through. So, so other than touring with Michael Franti and Spearhead, you got a lot also that you're doing yourself too. So You do teaching, right? So
I still teach drums. I still do that. I still do it on the road too, because a lot of the Zooms I do I think Wednesday and Friday and I teach us. But the trap drum I can't do it because it's already set up. There's no time, So when I go home, I always do that,
Right.
Yeah, but the hand drums I still do that anywhere I go because people have Zoom, people have, FaceTime, wherever it is,
Right.
Yeah.
I think I saw a video. You were maybe just last year. Was it Montana? There was you did some with some kids in elementary school. Or
somewhere
up in the Midwest. I know.
Yeah, Vermont.
Vermont.
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Midwest.
Vermont. Yeah. East Coast somewhere. I did. Yeah, it was good. That's it's a great experience because I learned a lot from the kids because they're so smart, and I'm just like when they ask questions and I'll be nervous. I'm more scared. I'm more nervous. I never been in a situation or confrontational one-on-one with a lot of students.
Right.
And I never done a class like that before in my life. So I teach on Zoom one-on-one with people, but I never done like class different student different. Right. So then we ask me a question. I'm like, I will come up with something that we're like, cool. Then a lot of kids we have trouble. So I'm like, oh, when I get frustrated, what should I do? I said, well, take your frustration on the drums. What is going to happen? The drums just going to make a peaceful, loud noise. It's not going to hurt anyone. So they're going to be punching your mom now. Like, taking on the drums. The drum just going to make a loud, peaceful noise. Yeah, so nobody get hurt, So they laugh about that. So, but it was fun. I did it with speech from Arrested Development. So we talk and do drums. And he says, I was here for like a week. And I really have a respect for teachers after that because everything start early. Wake up like 7, then we there from from 8 o'clock to like 4. No break, you know.
Yeah, but rock stars wake up at like 10 o'clock, right? Yeah, that's why.
No, I can wake up early, but I don't have to do anything. That's a difference.
Yeah, we tested a few times.
Yeah, you tell me it was coincident. Yeah. Well, like around 6, I'm like, oh, you know, I got it. You know, because the reason why that happened, because I go running in the morning. So, you know, I always set up my alarm around between 6 and sometimes 7. Right. So when you tested, I was there, you know, like getting ready for my run. So it was perfect. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, because I saw your workout video on the Franti Friday.
Long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I that's interesting. Yeah, because kids have a different Again, they haven't been exposed to all sorts of certain things, so they're very open and asking inquisitive questions.
They ask questions. They're really smart, and it was fun. It's basically I learned from the kids than me teaching them drums, and I learned a lot, like while they taught, and it was cool. Yeah.
Now, so you also offer. This was interesting, right? Is your retreats and your gatherings and the drum circle party. So if you want to have a party, and maybe that's what I could do. I got to invite you to come back out of the house.
We do it.
Yeah. So that's So all of this is available on the website. And you could sign up for a book or whatnot.
Because what I do is it's more of the drum circle. It's not like about me teaching people drums. It's just everybody involved. So I do a little bit acoustic song, then the drum circle take over because everyone is involved.
Yeah.
I don't just want you sitting down there just playing drums. So grab something, wherever rhythm you create. Cause I always tell the people so I don't know how to play drums. I say, no, you know how to play. Just bang on it, it's going to make noise. We're going to follow your own rhythm. So that's how I be doing it. So people really love that. People feel more confident about themselves. You don't have to be professional. No one is professional except you have to be, except you specific of certain rhythm you're trying to learn. But just to have fun, everybody got rhythm.
Right, yeah.
It's just like being a kid, just bang on the can. And I always tell them, have fun. I'm not here to judge you. You started beat, we're going to follow you. And that's what we do, So everybody involved, they still love the drum circle. That's the main, thing of me traveling, doing my solo stuff.
That's pretty, yeah. Noah's seen some of the as we were talking earlier about the jams at my house, and with all of the close friends and the kids and so forth. And usually there's the drum kit, and then all the other djembes and other percussive stuff.
Yeah,
everybody kind of just gets in and jams.
That's cool.
So definitely check out on the website there. So, how difficult is it to sing and drum at the same time?
To me, just natural. So, but so certain beat, I trying to play it, then I just have to keep it simple so I can be able to sing, because it can be complicated. But to me, just like I don't think about it. Yeah, I don't think about it like I have to coordinate my hand, I have to sing. It just happens.
It just become natural, right?
But when it's hard sometimes when we're like higher elevation, you're trying to play and breathing. So wait, am I gonna, what's going on? Yeah, in that situation, then it's hard. Yes.
Yeah. Don't worry, here in Florida, we don't got that problem. We have the humidity problem.
Yeah.
So that's because I think that's kind of a real fascinating thing there about a lot of the hand drums. And again, I'm still kind of learning more. I've got some hand drum stuff. Again, it was interesting talking with Paulie about some of those things. And it's all right. It's just everybody. It's a
it's the drumming is a feeling you have inside.
Very primal thing, right?
It's a feeling like you dance it to music. Dance to your music, your own pace, your own how you feel it.
Right.
If you're going fast, you want to dance it slow. That's how you feel it naturally. Right. That's your call, and I'm not going to try to tell you, oh, you should do it this way. What about you don't like the way I'm doing it? You want to enjoy it your own way. That come natural for you. Right. So I always trying to encourage that.
So when you perform, how much of some of the percussion live is? I know Michael plays that stomp box. How much is that complement, or how does that fit into what you're doing, and I guess with him keeping?
Yeah, he just keep it rhythms. Like some of the songs, we sing it acoustic, and just something to like keep it going. And then we have acoustic set. We play the stumble, so boss. Yeah. Anyway, then he played that, and then I played the djembe. So just fun, complimenting each other.
We're gonna see that tonight, right?
Yeah, correct.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
All right, no, this is cool.
Correct.
So, all right. So your solo music now, right? So I know, I know the pandemic was rough on a lot of folks, and I think your most recent release there was something to do during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Prior. But yeah, let's talk about the again. This just dropped last week, right?
Yeah.
Show Your Love, right?
Yeah. Show Your Love is, and I call it that way. Is everybody have something inside? Don't be afraid of your talent. People talented in a different form. Some people they talented dancing, or music, or they're good in drawing, artwork, wherever it is, or singing, or playing the soccer, or playing football. Don't degrade yourself like I'm not good enough. That's what I say. Show your love. Wherever the talent you have inside, let it out to the world. Because it's not everything with me or wherever. It's not a competition. Right. There's always something for somebody. So wherever you have in you, somebody else gonna appreciate it. Like, oh, this is what I've been looking for. I like this guy's style. That's why we have different kind of music. We have blues, we have rock, we have all the same music. Yes. Right. So Show Your Love is about, don't degrade, don't be afraid of like, oh, I'm not good enough. You're good enough, because that's how you feel inside. Just let people know this is what you're doing. Somebody else might walk by like, oh, I love that artwork. Wow. Who did it? You did that? I've been looking for stuff like this all these years. Right. Can you make 20 of those? How much are you selling it for a piece? Look, oh, when 1,000. Oh, I give you 3,000 for make 20. I'm trying, because if you didn't show it, how would the person see it?
Right.
How would the person buy your artwork? But you just display it somewhere. Yeah. Somebody might just walk by. This is what I've been looking for.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We live. All right. I think there. And again, Manas, this is what the. Again, listening to your music and the music you perform, and it's so uplifting, it's so positive, right? Mm-hmm. Right now, we've got so much negativity.
Yeah, it's going on.
Yeah, and it's just like, and that's really beautiful. You're right, because everyone's got something special.
Everybody has something special. You don't have to be like music or like and something special. You can be wherever you have inside. Don't just because everyone is doing it, then you can't show yours. Yeah. Everyone eat food. So, but food is, you have different kind of food from all over the planet. Yeah. So because like, when I'm from so I can not cook this kind of food. It might not be people might not familiar with it. Do it. Somebody might taste it like, wow, this is cool. Where's this food from? You're like, oh, it's from Afghanistan or from somewhere. Right. So let it out.
Yeah. And that's the thing about, as I always talk about how great the internet is, but how there's good and bad of it. There's great things you learn about other things that are to be more aware of, because where you may be from, you have no idea that there's other things out there that you might be interested in, or the food reference.
It's you wherever you have inside, just don't. It's not something to be afraid of or like ashamed of. Like, just do it. Because, so certain things you learn it, so certain things it's a talent, it's a gift. You just have it. Yeah. So just let it out.
So the albums and your solo stuff, you write all the lyrics and perform, or how's that?
Yeah, I write all, because I have a keyboard at home. I play a little keyboard. So when I write, just like during the pandemic, I just sat on my keyboard. So I just like, I'm gonna, I'll be playing drums all my life, and so I just goofing around, come up with some chord, and I'm trying to keep it simple. And then I started singing, writing. I'm not like a great writer, like so quick. So I started making up the story up in my head, and just writing. So every time, then when I done that, then I pre-record it on the keyboard. Then I call my friends up, like, I'm gonna track it, and I'm gonna, let me come over to your studio, wherever. Like, I'll be available. So I call, I have a lot of musician friends. Hey, check this track. You want to play on it? Like, sure. some of these songs I didn't even play drums. I will call my friend Thomas, a drummer, like, Thomas, hey, I want you to play drums on this, like, because I want different feel, not just me.
Right,
So yeah, my friends all help to make the record.
That's cool. Having a drummer, having a different drummer on a drummer's.
Yeah. So we did that. We reached out to Carl, reached out to our keyboard player, like, so everybody kind of participating on the album.
That's cool. No, that's really cool. So so if you're listening, check it out. Again, this podcast is dropping on Tuesday. I should know this, but
but it's all right.
What's September? The day after Labor Day. So, I don't remember what day that is, but anyway. So the first Tuesday of September. Check out. You're available every pretty much on everywhere you can find music, right? Check out Manas's new song that just dropped here in the end of August. There, Show Your Love, and then that comes off of.
Just a single I just did.
Okay,
It's a single,
And then and the most recent release was One Accord.
One Accord,
So check it out. So man, you do it all.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's something I got the time at home, and so so I got the time at home. So when I'm not bored, I just like, let me just go. Yeah. I'm not quick like writing. Sometimes I play a little bit. I go watch the TV. Then I get inspired. I played a little bit. I go. Then eventually I'll come, together. Yeah.
Do you got anything cooking now? You got anything?
No, not right now. Until I get home first. I'm focusing on the tour and
So very cool. So all right. So I think I'm like I said, I think it was real interesting, and again connecting with with Paulie, and then and learning he showed me a box, I guess, that Michael had that like totally wore out. I guess he has it. He showed on the video. So and those percussions that he built is like
he made amazing. Like I uses his drum like on my event. I uses his Paulie drums because it's a unique, it's different because it's all wood. Wood, the head is all wood. And so this is why I use it. Sometimes he have some different sound and he doesn't go out of tune. It's wood, but the only thing I'm worried, I don't want it to break. It's always like protective of the drum. But when I do my travel, I use it more. I have other drums I bring with, for backups, but Paulie one was the main one,
Yeah, that's it. That's right there is a huge benefit is not going out of tune because there's no drum head.
No drum. It's all wood.
It's amazing. But you also have coming up here this month, you got some shows coming up in New Jersey,
I have some shows. I'm doing actually it's one of my drum students because I did something in Montrose. It's all right. Okay. Yeah, I did something in Montrose, Pennsylvania, so one of my drum students, Maria, like, if you're already this way, I can set something up and I can just do like intimate show, wherever. I'm like, that would be cool. So that's I got going on. Cool. So that because when I do the intimate show, I know more people than when I do the huge crowd. Right. Because the huge crowd, I don't spend time with because too many attention. Everybody want a scientist, so I can't have time to really talk to a lot of people. Yeah. A lot of people like, hey, Manas, I met you years ago. Like, okay, where? Okay, cool, bro. It's good to see you again. Then it's, maybe he really have something to say, but I just like spend only 5 minutes with this person. It's kind of hurtful, in my head, So, but the intimacy, I get to like hang out with people, like really talk about their life, their personal beliefs, then I get to know them. So every time we call each other up, it don't have to be about music. Right. It's about your daughter is doing, how's she doing, how things at home. We just talk, how's your family. So I learn a lot from doing that most,
Yeah. And now because one of the shows that is coming up is drumming and yoga, right?
I do that sometimes. Sometimes that come with organically.
Okay.
So with that tissues, I just play the hand drums to follow the movement.
Okay.
Yeah, like coordinate how the movement of the body is. So I play the drum according. So I just watch. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
So, all right. So, like a lot going on here. We're, I know you got a lot going on here for the show here. So, we're gonna start landing this this show here. So, this is this segment's coming up here. It's that all the guests go through. It's called our rapid fire segment in 4 beats or less. So, we'll see how you do. Right? Okay. So, these first things that come to mind here. So, okay. So, ready for number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I asked this of all the drummers, percussions, and so forth, and and I realized that I had talked with I'll confess it's maybe short-minded, I guess not thinking, there's others that listen and so forth, and the question is, and again we'll frame it how the best you want. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of drummers?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Honestly, I don't know. Depends on the mood. Okay. That's a tough question. Tough.
That's why we asked it.
Yeah, it's a tough question. Because I listen to all kind of music. They're all important to me. Sometimes I'm in mood of I just going to listen to jazz all day today. You know, sometimes I just going to listen to punk rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really live, it's hard.
So if you had to put if you had four people, drummers or percussionists on that mountain.
Yes, the drummer I listen to, his name is Paco City. He live in France. He's from the Ivory Coast originally. He play with José, and I listen to Omar Hakim, old school drummer. I loved, then Dennis Chamber.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then there's one I'm missing. Every now and then I put it on. Yeah, Billy Cobham.
Okay.
I listen.
Right.
Yeah,
there you go. Okay. I know it's tough, and that's the beauty about music and being open to different styles. Yeah, some days your mood, etc. So, all right, fair enough. I was asked, and actually we'll talk afterwards. I had a guest on who was a taiko drummer. They live here in South Florida.
Oh my God!
They play the big, yeah. So, but we could talk offline now. But she asked, she's like, well, if it's my Mount Rushmore, I can have however many. And I go, I guess that's true. I didn't actually say it, and say one or the other. But all right. So question number 2 here. So in 4 beats or less, and this one comes from we talked about your good friend Paulie here.
Yeah.
All right. So Paulie wants to know in 4 beats or less, favorite venue to play at.
I love a smaller venue, but I love Red Rocks because it's beautiful scenery and the amphitheater is really cool with the sound wise. So we say Red Rocks for now.
All right. Well, hopefully tonight you add.
No, tonight will be great. I know tonight's already great. I can feel it.
So we had on filmmakers. Have you played at the Gorge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
Yeah. We had the filmmakers on the podcast last year and talked about that. It's just amazing. So all right. So here we go. This one might be tough for you, right?
Yeah.
So in 4 beats or less, question number 3. Favorite Bob Marley song?
I love what is that song? Running Away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you didn't give one of the
No. I love Running Away. Then Then I love one Midnight River. Okay. So yeah. I love those ones. Yeah, they're not like the top. Everybody play on the radio
they call
One
the deep
Love.
cuts, right?
One Love. Everyone knows that jamming. But
Little Birds.
Yeah.
All right, so here in 4 beats or less, question number 4. This one might be a little tough. Hand drums or kit?
I would say the kit because because I've been doing it for a long time. But the hand drum I playing it, the reason why I love the hand drum now is it's like I'm repracticing my tradition.
Okay.
So it's like every time I play, it's like I'm relearning it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, because I haven't really done it years. I jam, drum circle, I can have fun. But right now when I teach it, and it's like I'm relearning it.
Right.
So then, I'm relearning it. So I love the hand drum for that.
So sometimes, yeah, when you go back to stuff you haven't done in a while, it's
Yeah,
kind of
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the feel from it.
All right.
For the hand drums now. So
But on the record, you're saying kit.
Yeah.
You're saying kit though.
yeah, kid.
Okay.
Yeah, no, on the record, kid, because because I do that all the time. But the hand drum, I don't do it all the
Yeah.
time. But when I did do it, then I started playing it like, holy, I love this rhythm. I remember I used to do when I was, so I'm relearning it.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to thank all my students that I'll be teaching. They're kind of like teaching me, because without them, I don't think I would be doing the hand drums.
Right.
So I give it up to all my students.
All right.
They won't make this happen.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, welcome to the Drums and Rums alums. You've run through the pain of the rapid fire segment there. So, Manas, so welcome to the alum here. You are now part of the Drums and Rums alums here. So,
Yes.
there you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Back into the spirits there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you, sir.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you
your time today here.
Thank you
So,
for having me on your
Yep.
podcast this
Yeah.
afternoon.
So we're so let's end it with what do you want folks to check out? What do you want people to learn more about? I guess they call it the shameless plug. At the end of it.
When I always say this to everyone, be true to yourself and don't be ashamed of who you are, because I believe God created man with his own image, and everything is created is perfect. So you don't have to be like somebody else. All right, that's what we say.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Yes.
So
Yeah, thank you.
so make sure you also check out Manas's website. We'll
Yeah,
include
go to
that.
my
Yeah,
website
yeah.
and check out my event
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Download his music. Yeah.
Download my music, and I do a lot of house party, like intimate drums, circle, and acoustic song. I do a lot of those, so check it out. Go to my website,
Cool. So
and thank you all for listening.
yeah, you got it. So I appreciate it again. I thank Manas for coming on. Again, I thank Paul E for connecting us, right?
Paul E, thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Paul E all the way across the other pond there.
Exactly.
Again, it's part of we call it the alums now. All this eclectic collection of, people that, again, I love talking. My wife tells me I love talking, right? So,
Yeah.
And again, a real big shout out to Stadium Grill. Again, we got a chance to come up here out of the heat here and to tape the podcast here at Stadium Grill in Abacoa. We're here in Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah.
So big shout out to them. Come on down. Yeah, again, looking forward to tonight.
Yeah.
And so check out the music, check out Manas and his website, and man, I can't wait for tonight. So,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. This is Paul. We're with the Backbeats Meet Spirits. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. Peace.